Alright guys, I'd just like to show some of my opinions on the Gillette advert and on other adverts at this moment in time with this kind of message. Now, I think at this moment in time you would struggle to find a TV advert with a stronger PC message than the Gillette advert, although most adverts nowadays do contain some form of politically correct narrative. Now the point I would like to make is, if any of the PC dynamics of this advert were changed around, so the advert started off with showing all the negatives of women, or, you know, the guys who are perceived as bad in the advert were ethnic minority. If any of those dynamics were changed around, the company, Gillette, would be made to make a public apology for this advert. The advert would be taken down, they'd have to make a public apology, and whoever made the advert would never work in TV advertising again. That'd be it. They'd be gone. End of. Now I've got to admit, this part of the advert, this part made me laugh. I cried of laughter when I saw this part of the advert. I mean, if the advert was entirely the same and you just changed the dynamics of this situation around, you know, imagine a black guy goes to chat up a girl and a white guy stops him saying, "Not cool, bro, not cool." Oh my god. There'd be social justice warrior outcry about it. Which brings me to my next point. This kind of bad white guy, good black guy and white woman situation is a very reoccurring theme in TV adverts nowadays. Near enough every TV advert couple nowadays is a black man and a white woman. When it's the majority of advert couples, there's an agenda behind it. Do you know what I mean? If it's one or two, maybe not. But when it's near enough every couple, there's an agenda behind it. Yes, they do adverts the opposite way round sometimes, you know, with a white man and a black woman, but they're very rare on British TV anyway, and they tend to be a beta male, weedy looking white guy and an ugly ass black woman. Do you know what I mean? Why not use a good looking white guy? There's plenty out there. And why not use a really pretty black woman? There's plenty out there. Now, it tends to be a fairly unattractive couple when they do it the opposite way round. So sticking with this slight change of theme now, I'd like to show you an advert that I think shows pretty well the pushing narrative of this weedy white guy kind of scenario in British TV adverts and, you know, other forms of mainstream media. It is the Specsavers advert. You should be able to find it fairly easy on YouTube. When I did, the majority of the comments are kind of saying along the lines I'm saying, and the video has massively more dislikes than likes. But I could have picked many adverts, but I think this one shows it particularly well, so let's have a quick look at it. So here we have the weedy beta male white guy walking along. He looks into a window, and what's on the other side? You guessed it. A white woman in bed with a black man. Would you believe that? What a surprise. So the black guy says to me, "Can I help you, mate? Do you think..." And the little weedy white guy seeks the black man's approval and asks him about his glasses. No. Black guy says no. Obviously he's not going to praise him. So he goes on his way to, you know, whatever feminist march he's going to. And there we have it. Short and simple, straight to the point. Now there's many adverts that carry this theme, like I've explained earlier. And I'm not the only one who notices this. There's a lot of people pointing this out online, and I've also noticed that there seems to be a lot of black women that agree with this kind of stuff as well. They probably see it from a different point of view, but nonetheless they've noticed the narrative as well. And going back to the Gillette advert that we was talking about earlier, I noticed in the comment section of it, and fair play to them. I noticed there was a hell of a lot of black guys in the comment section saying things like, you know, I'm black and I can see the anti-white man narrative of this advert. So it's not subtle, it's blatant. The bit that gripes me most about these adverts is, this is westernised adverts. You know what I mean? This is TV adverts from a western country. You know, dare I say it, a white country. If these were adverts in black countries, or if these were adverts made by ethnic minorities, well, at least you'd be able to say, at least they're showing themselves in a positive light, or, you know, putting across what they want the narrative to be. But they're not. These adverts are adverts for predominantly white countries, and they're made by predominantly white people. 9 times out of 10, the director, the guy who thought up of the advert, you know, the TV company, whatever, majoritively them white. So it's white people pushing this narrative. That's the bit that gets me and confuses me. White people are the only race that constantly portray themselves in a negative light and constantly big up other cultures and other races as being better than us. No other race, country or culture on earth does that. It's strange. We're the only race of people who are active in our own demise. We're the only race who are actively destroying and scrubbing out our own culture. Now you might say this is a hell of a lot to take from a couple of adverts, but it's not just a couple of adverts. In fact, I challenge you, have a sit down at home one day when you've got nothing to do and just take a note of the adverts that come through the TV, and you'll soon notice a theme. You'll soon notice a very strong PC theme in everything. And another one to check out is the music channels, because music channels massively influence young people, and you'll definitely find a similar theme in the majority of music videos nowadays. If you're okay with all this stuff, then fair enough, but I'm not. And I don't care what anybody says to me or what anybody calls me for thinking what I think. I'm sick to death of mainstream media being the voice of Britain. I am sick to death of the coward white people, the cuckold, coward beta male white men of mainstream media being the voice of Britain, constantly selling their own race, country and culture down the drain, whilst licking the arse of the PC crew. Westernised men are constantly being portrayed and turned into weak, soft, effeminate beta males, right? It's clear in mainstream media all day long. That's all we get told to be. That's the only way you're not offensive nowadays. You've got to be this weedy white man licking the arse of the PC crew 24/7, and a race and culture of beta males are destined to be scrubbed out, to be bred out, to be replaced by a race and culture who not. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And at this moment in time, we're all just happy to stand by and watch it happen and nobody do anything. And the main reason why nobody will say or do anything about it is because everybody is terrified of isms. Everybody is terrified of isms. We'll stand by and watch anything happen as long as somebody doesn't call us some ism. And the main reason for that, I think, is mainstream media. Mainstream media is the biggest enemy of westernised civilization and westernised people, above all the other problems. Because things like Islamic terrorism and the negatives of mass immigration and the control of the EU, they're all protected and defended and covered up by the mainstream media. And anybody who's got the guts to go out there and try and talk about this or try and raise the issues, the mainstream media's there to scream isms at them, to close them down as fast as possible, to, paint them as bad people in any way possible. So click like and subscribe, and I'll be doing more videos on these kind of subjects of how the mainstream media covers up this stuff, how the mainstream media, the tactics that they use to try and control and silence people, and what we can do to fight back against it, basically. So take care, guys, and goodbye.